All right, man, peace. So the basketball media is making a huge deal about this situation during All-Star Weekend, where Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant were out in the hallway before the game, gossiping about what they're going to do after this season, like two schoolgirls before homeroom. And what it made me think about, brothers, to be quite frank with you, is that in life sometimes situations might be right for you, but you might not be right for that situation. You might have certain aptitudes or talents that would make you a great fit at a certain job. Or you might be what a certain woman is looking for in a man, but she might not be what you're looking for in a woman. And you might not be happy at that job. I've known people who were great at IT, but they just did not enjoy it. I know people who had great jobs and liked to stay at home and they loved children, and that's what a certain woman was looking for. But that woman was not the type of woman that that guy was looking for. When I look at Kevin Durant, he's exactly what the New York Knicks need. But is that locality right for him and his personality? To be honest with you, I don't think so. So anyway, they're going to talk about it. I'm going to chime in.
During All-Star Weekend, this video of Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving having an animated discussion in the hallway was tweeted out by NBA reporters. At one point, Kyrie was seen holding up two fingers during the discussion. Max, is this a sign?
What exactly is that supposed to mean, though? Kyrie holding up two fingers, and that's supposed to mean what? He might be saying there's two holes up in my hotel room after the game. Let's hit these broads and then take a flight out to Miami and hit about 10 more broads.
Sign they will get together during the off season, or is it just a peace sign happening?
Oh, I love it, boy. Are we reading into stuff? No, I don't think it's a sign they get together. We both know they're free agents. They like each other. They want to play together. But it would not be in a place like, say, the New York Knicks, as everyone thinks, because I don't believe that KD has it in him to start from scratch with a guy like Kyrie trying to win championships.
That's part of it. I think that KD is someone who could be converted into believing that New York is the right place for him. I think that Kyrie might be able to win him over. The thought of a challenge and maybe how he constantly is being inundated with the sentiment that he ran to Golden State and teamed up with a 73-win team. I think that KD is somebody who will allow certain thoughts to permeate into his head and convince him that he wants to do something that he might not really want to do. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I just don't think that New York is the right place for KD. Because if he's having borderline mental breakdowns over the media in Golden State, in the Oakland area, how's he going to be in New York? I've seen New York tear down dudes, tear down certain dudes. And I'm not quite sure if KD's built for it. Now, he might be willing to come to New York if they can trade for Anthony Davis, the Knicks I'm talking about, as well as sign Kyrie, because that might provide him with a big enough buffer. But KD coming to New York by himself, hell no.
I think if Kristaps Porzingis was still there and they had the cap space,
this motherfucker still talking about Kristaps Porzingis,
to get someone else plus Kyrie, and they had a great coach and it was a good organization, and KD felt the odds were stacked in his favor to the point where he couldn't not win a championship, then he would go to a place like the Knicks and face that pressure. But I don't think just starting with Kyrie, he's going to look at the Warriors or whoever else and be like, yep, we can win championships here and I can prove my point. And I think that's the issue for KD. He wants to go and prove a point. So no, I don't read into him and Kyrie having a laugh in the hallway. I don't
read into it, but I do know that they get along with each other, that they consider...
They get along with one another a great deal. KD and Kyrie are very close, and a lot of people don't know that. I've seen footage of them hanging out in various places. I believe it was in Las Vegas and maybe down in South America somewhere. I'm trying to remember. But I believe I saw it on the Tammuz channel, or TMZ as they call it, the Tammuz show, where they were hanging out in Vegas somewhere, as well as with DeAndre Jordan. So they've been friends for a very long time now.
Consider themselves friends, that they communicate, and that the belief is that those two are going to pair up this summer and play together somewhere.
Now, for Stephen A. Smith to say that's the belief, that probably means that he's hearing it from more than one source.
Preferably New York. I will tell you this. I'm very, very concerned as to whether or not that's going to happen, primarily because of KD. When I saw KD go off about the media the other day and how he just wants to play basketball, I'm like, wait a minute. You bothered about that at Golden State?
Yo, KD will have a nervous breakdown if he comes to New York. And, you know, Madison Square Garden ain't but a few blocks away from the Empire State Building. KD might get so harassed, the next thing you know, they'd be like, breaking news, Kevin Durant is at the top of the Empire State Building threatening to jump.
What the hell you gonna do in New York? I mean, that's what's scaring the living hell out of me, because obviously, being a native New Yorker and a diehard Knicks fan, I would love to see KD in New York City. I don't know he has the stomach for it. I'm scared that KD is going to be hell-bent on leaving Golden State. If they win the title, he'll have 3, and then after that, he'll decide to leave, and then...
Look, I'm on record as saying I have no idea why Kevin Durant would want to leave Golden State. Like, that's literally the perfect place for him. It's like a guy who has a perfect wife, and he fucks it up with some hoochie that works at Burger King. Like, I mean, come on, man.
And right before it's time for him to sign in New York, you know, he'll think about that media contingent that'll be following him every day.
KD is not, he's not the lead guy. He needs to stay with Golden State and be what he is, which is arguably the greatest pure weapon in the history of the NBA.
And he'll lose his damn mind and say, hell no, I ain't doing this. You know what I'm saying? That's my fear. I don't understand.
Not worried
why
about Kyrie, are you?
Golden State anyway.
Not worried about Kyrie that way, are you?
Well, the difference between Kyrie and KD is that Kyrie might start to complain about the media, but he has the ability to disassociate on the basketball floor from the media. KD seems to be the type of guy who it might carry over onto the court. Kyrie knows how to cut that shit off.
At all.
Me
Not
neither.
at all.
And the thing
Not
about New York media that people have to understand, it's not LA. In LA, if you stink, they just stop paying attention and go to the beach. In New York, if you stink, they pay more attention.
Absolutely. New Yorkers love negativity. They love negativity. You know, me growing up in New York, you learn how to deal with negativity from numerous directions. You learn how to deal with it so easily that you're almost surprised when people are actually positive.
Like, there's nothing like the media here in New York City. And I think Kyrie could...
Yo, Kyrie's handle's off the charts, man.
Could handle it. He wouldn't love it, but he would do it. I don't think KD wants it, particularly Stephen A. If those two come together after they traded Porzingis, the expectations would be sky high.
Let me tell you the difference. Kevin Durant wants to ball and win. Kyrie Irving wants to do that, but he wants to put on a show.
Absolutely. I think that he and KD would make a great pairing, though, because they'd be going in between the legs 5,000 times, but they're both actually proficient in the half-court set.
Yo, and Madison Square Garden, whatever you want to think of it, it's still in a lot of people's eyes considered the Mecca, particularly.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. Madison Square Garden is still viewed as being the capital of basketball, at the very least in the United States. The ambiance, the environment, the energy, it just galvanizes great players.
Particularly people from New Jersey and New York like Kyrie. And so the thought of going at the Garden and being the headliner and putting on a show every night would be very appealing to Kyrie Irving. Kevin Durant, he just wants to ball, win, and go home.
That's it. And bring a couple of big booty broads home with him.
Oh, and New York doesn't exactly work that way.
Stephen,
and by the way, hold on, Max. By the way, let's also remember this. When we talk about people coming to New York, we need to remember it ain't just about the Knicks. There's this team in Brooklyn with no stars that's above 500. Sean Marks and Atkinson and those boys, they've done a hell of a job.
They sure have. They're the story of the year in the NBA.
I mean, Dinwiddie and those boys can play, man. And then they're an above average team now.
You bring up the Nets. You bring up the Nets. I want to touch on that quickly. I don't understand why it's not a hotter destination. Brooklyn rings bells around planet Earth.
To be quite honest with you, I think that it might go over certain people's heads, or maybe people might not agree with this. To be quite honest with you, I truly believe that one of the reasons why the Brooklyn Nets may not be able to draw top-notch free agents are the uniforms and the color schemes. That plain black and white, it kind of repels people. A lot of people might not get that, but, you know, a lot of the charm and the magnetism of a team is about the color scheme. People are drawn to certain color schemes. Colors resonate in people's subconscious mind in a different way.
And if they had a championship squad with a showman as the leader, it would be the hottest ticket in sports by far anywhere on the globe.
They need to change those uniforms first, though.
I don't know why that's not spoken about more as a destination. But that said,
that traffic on Atlantic Avenue is a bear.
Deal with it.
It's a bear.
You're not lying, but deal with it.
Brooklyn is a great spot, though. Right now, a lot of Brooklyn is on par with more of the expensive portions of Lower Manhattan.
Deal with it. If you had Barclays, you'd be fine. Here's the point.
And Brooklyn is a place where you can find anything and everything.
At the 11th hour, if the Nets are not considered more, if people are really looking at the Knicks, I just put myself in KD's position or Kyrie's position. At the 11th hour, Jerry West calls. Oh, I could go to play in L.A. in the sunshine with Jerry West at the helm and draft picks and talent around me.
That's another location that people have not mentioned for Kyrie, that being the Clippers. All we've heard thus far is maybe Kevin Durant and Kawhi Leonard, but who knows? Maybe Kyrie might head out there and be right there and have an intra-city rivalry with LeBron James.
Or I got to go to the Knicks and deal with Dolan and the weather and the bad team and the dysfunction. KD, the same thing. I just don't see how the Knicks wind up with one of these guys, let alone both. I think in the end, they're not going to choose them.
You never know. Certain players might want to challenge themselves. They might go to the Knicks and think to themselves, if we can transform the Knicks, that's going to put us on par and on a level with other players who may have won more championships, but the championships that they won were not as profound.
Very interesting from the man who always talks about heritage franchises.
Don't ignore Brooklyn. We keep talking
I agree about that.
And we assume it's the Knicks. It might be Brooklyn.
Everyone's talking Lakers and Knicks. It could be Clippers and Nets.
All right, speaking of the...
But anyway, that's basically it on that. We'll see what happens with KD and Kyrie. But once again, if I'm KD, I'm staying with the Golden State Warriors. I think that his personality just fits perfect there. So peace.